Well, my friends, are you settled in? Are you ready? Let's go. Before we begin, I want to say to you, as I am reminded, please like this video. Join us to spread the word. Like this, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell for the love of God so people can find out more about us. And don't forget, tonight, we ask you also to say a special hello and a howdy do and hi-yo silver to our great friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com with promo code Lionel for deals that will make you lose your breath. You will horripilate in excitement. Promo code Lionel, get a free gift. Follow the link right there, my friends. Well, Jack Smith apparently has done it again. We've been talking about this. He's finally done it. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, wants to go after Trump for apparently the January the 6th event. Now, you and I have talked about this forever, and we're going to be talking about it right now. And I want you to listen to me as we go through this. First, what does this mean? He got a letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter. I don't care how much money I got to spend. Okay, number one. In grand jury worlds, in federal grand jury worlds, there are three separate groups of citizens that are the subject of grand jury involvement. One is a witness. You can be a grand jury witness. You were at a bank, you saw it robbed, and you were called as a witness to testify as to what you saw. You're just a witness. No problem, nothing to worry about, just helping us out, helping us solve and prosecute a crime. No problem with that. A subject. A subject is very interesting. That is, you are the subject of an investigation. It may not be, it may not necessarily end in your indictment. It may not necessarily end, but we're kind of looking at you, and you're a subject. We're just kind of seeing what's going on here. And the worst is a target. We're going after you. We're going to indict you. We've got everything lined up, and we're at the final stages of basically the indictment coming down. And we're going to offer you one chance to come on down and maybe say give us your side of the story. Speak your piece. Nobody ever does that. Nobody ever does that. You don't go before the grand jury. Ever. Ever. For a number of reasons. It has nothing to do with your guilt. First of all, it has something to do with the fact that if you go before the grand jury, you're going to end up saying something that's going to ultimately hurt yourself. You're going to hurt, or they bring you in on day one. They set you up for perjury. They bring you in on day one. They bring you in on day two. You come back on day three. And if your testimony varies, if it's different, that's inconsistent statement under oath. That's perjury. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. Not good. Oh, no. So nobody ever does it. You have the right to remain silent. Use it. It's a right. It's your right. It's an absolute right. You understand that? Okay. That's number one. Now, Trump does these things which at first I thought were a bit daft. So why is he calling the prosecutor deranged? Why is he doing this? You know why? And we're going to go through this very carefully. It kind of makes sense. You know, when he says it for the first time in the case involving Alvin Bragg, he said, well, come on. This is ridiculous. Come on. This is crazy. Well, you know, in fact, people didn't know what to make out of it. They said, well, I don't know what to make out of this. I mean, he had this mistress or this trollop, this Butana, this whatever she is, Miss Stormy Dusty Saddles or whatever her name was, this trollop, this courtesan, this virago, this meretrix. And apparently there was something to do with how the payment to her was made. Was Cohen reimbursed? I mean, it's the most crazy. People say, what? And Marjorie Taylor Greene flew into New York, and we're going to stop us, and you can't do this, and Alvin Bragg. I mean, this is the first one, and we're going to, oh, God. That was the first one. Then came the second one, Mar-a-Lago. Okay, all right. What's this one now? The first one nobody understands. He did what? He misidentified. He called it a business. What? And what? So he paid, and because he wrote, he deducted. What? Nobody understands. Nobody. These people still don't get it. They still don't understand it. Then we have other things. What else do we have? Well, we have other things. For example, the second thing was Mar-a-Lago. Hey, what did he do? He took papers home. Aren't they his papers? Well, no, they were classified. Classified? All those boxes in the bathroom? Wait a minute, you think he was what? You think he was showing people this? You think is this espionage? You want to do what? Who is this guy, Jack Smith? What? That was the second reaction. Oh, and these papers. See, most of the time people want things like, he stole money, he bribed, he did something, he killed somebody. That's easy. The second one was what? Okay. And even people who hated Trump and hate Trump. Rob Reiner, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Hey. Now the third one. He did what? January 6, 2021. Oh, yeah, I remember that. What did he do? Well, we don't know. But it might have been seditious conspiracy. It might be. We'll talk about that in a moment. Haven't we talked about that? Didn't they charge him? No, they didn't. Oh, okay. And do you see the reaction I'm getting? This is what a prosecutor doesn't want. It's this, oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Not good. Not good. If you say he was taking money, he met with like Hansen. Remember that, the spy who met with the spies and these. I mean, something like that. These are three of the weirdest cases. To even explain them, you have to. Well, he not good. When you start off with, well, no. This Jack Smith is like, what did they promise him? What are you doing? Enough. We're not done yet. Imagine what the Georgia prosecutor with that Stop the Steal stuff. She's probably thinking, oh my God. People are just running out of time. They're running out of time and they're running out of a mood. They don't care for this. It doesn't do anything. Nobody cares about this. It's over. We're past this. This Smith is like, what are you doing? Trump has never looked better. This is why ultimately he says, I don't know. And if he says, well, the first one was, I guess, I wrote down the wrong deduction, and the second one was I took my papers home. The GAO helped me box them. Where do you think they were there helping me? Nobody sat with us and said, okay, just a minute, Mr. Trump, President Trump, what is in this box here? Can we see this? Okay, sir, you can't do that. You can't do that. Half of those boxes and those pictures, that was his stuff. I mean, it's wrong, but it's like, what? It's chicken scheisse. It's nothing. And this one? Okay, that's number one. Now let's assume he charges him, or they charge him with seditious conspiracy. Let's talk about this. First, when you talk about a conspiracy, do you know what the problem is? Do you know what the crime is? It's the conspiracy. We don't want you planning stuff with people. It doesn't even matter if what you were planning was stupid. If I'm on the phone with you and I said, hey, Let's you and me traffic in dilaudid, a ton of dilaudid. Yeah. Boy, we could make a lot of money. What's that, hydromorphone or whatever that was? Yeah. Where the hell would he get it? I don't know. Do you know where to get it? I don't know where to get it. I'm not even sure what it is. What is it exactly? We're conspired. Doesn't matter what it is, how good we are we likely to get it? It's the conspiracy. Conspire. From the Latin and the French, to breathe with. You are this confluence of an agreement. That's the thing. It's the fact we don't want you. It's separate. Yes, there was the crime, but then there was the agreement. Now, let's read this, shall we? Let's read this. And this is very important that we read this and that we follow through with this. Okay? Number one. And again, we don't know if this is, but let me give you an idea of some of the stuff that's out there. Section 2384, 18 U.S.C., 18 United States Code, 2384. Seditious conspiracy. It's been around since 1948. It was amended in 56, and then 94. It's been around. If two or more persons, there you go. That's it. Two or more people. Can't conspire with yourself. And in many jurisdictions, the two people have to be guilty minds, meaning you cannot conspire with a cop. If a cop comes and goes, hey, listen, let's get that dilaudid you were talking about. Hey, it's a conspiracy. And the idea is that, no, you can't, because you could not have possibly ever, this could have never come to fruition because you're conspiring with a cop. It's got to be two guilty minds. Anyway, don't worry about it. If two or more persons conspire, well, let's go through this. Overthrow, put down, or destroy by force the government of the United States. Let's go through this. If two or more people conspire to overthrow, what does that mean? Hey, do you want to overthrow the government? Yeah, me too. Can we do it? No. Do we have any firepower or whatever? No. Do we have any? No. Nope. We don't have any ability to do so. We really don't, honest to God, we don't, Okay. But we just conspired to overthrow it, even though I don't know how we're going to overthrow it. Okay, to overthrow, put down, it's like a horse. Put down, like it's an insult. Don't put down the United States. Hey, the United States is the worst country in the world. You're putting it down. Or destroy by force the government. I don't even know how you're going to do that. The government, the post office, and the FBI, and the Department of Commerce, and how are we just... Okay, put that out of the way. Or, it gets better, or by force to prevent, hinder, here we go, to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law. Or by force. It also says, by the way, to levy war against them or oppose by force the authority. I don't even know what that means. Or by force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law. Okay. Well, that might have been maybe. Two or more people, maybe those Proud Boys, hindered the execution of any law, meaning the certification or the certification of the votes, or by force to seize, take, or possess any property of the U.S. Maybe the what? Maybe the Capitol? Maybe. Do you see where we're going with this? Do you see how it's like well, yeah. That's not exactly doing it for me, though. And that's a great sign when it's not exactly doing it for me. Now, here's a case. Remember this case. This is called Brandenburg. Brandenburg against Ohio, 1969. And it was a really interesting case. This was about, in Brandenburg, there was this guy, Clarence Brandenburg, was a KKK leader. And he spoke at a Klan rally in Ohio. And as he addressed a crowd of hooded, the Klans with the hood and the cross and the whole bit, he declared, quote, "This is an organizers' meeting. We have had quite a few members here today. We're not a revengeant organization, but if our president, our Congress, our Supreme Court continues to suppress the white Caucasian race, it's possible that there might have to be some revengeance taken." Interesting phrase. And for his words, he was charged with something called the syndicalism statute, which makes it illegal to, quote, "advocate crime, sabotage, violence, or unlawful methods of terrorism as a means of accomplishing industrial or political harm." Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? They're going to claim that Donald Trump got up there and he started telling these people while Kimberly Guilfoyle was doing that, Gloria. Remember that? Because she thinks everybody loves to see her dance. They love to see her dance. They love, she thinks, they just think she is the greatest. Understand that? They think, she thinks in particular, that people just love to watch her. But I digress, dear friends. So anyway, they're going to claim that that's exactly what happened. That old Trump decided he's going to get up there and he's going to maybe incite these folks. That he's going to say something when in fact he didn't. When in fact what he did was he told people, he said, I think, he said it at the ellipsis, whatever. He said specifically, you better not, don't act up. He even said we need troops. He wanted, I think he talked to the Secretary of the Army, but then there was a problem with who? Nancy Pelosi. Because Nancy Pelosi pretty much runs that show. And Nancy Pelosi runs that show. And Nancy Pelosi, because this is kind of her thing again. This is her, the Capitol and the whole bit. So anyway, so they're going to probably, it seems, maybe they're going to try their best to claim that Trump did something to, okay. So what did the Supreme Court say in Brandenburg? The Supreme Court said, remember, with a guy with a hood and the whole bit, he says, this is very interesting, the constitutional guarantees of free speech and free press do not permit a state to forbid or prescribe advocacy of the use of force or law violation, except where such advocacy is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such acts. So where it's directed to inciting violence and likely to incite. And that's it right there. And that is Brandenburg. And that right there is a motion to dismiss. And that is Trump's ticket. That is his ability to get the hell out of Dodge. That's it. That's simple. Now, Trump, of course, will argue that later on, I hope to God he doesn't get Joe Tacopina and whoever these folks were in this New York case. I hope he gets some real serious folks. But here's what I'm worried about. And this is what I've got to, and I'm telling you, I'm not giving this, I'm not suggesting this is necessarily going to happen, but it's something that I worry about. Because I have seen this before, and you have probably seen this in your own life. Remember the old expression, when you got them by the culione, their heads and hearts will follow. I'm worried about somebody like Rudy Giuliani, who I believe was reported to have made a couple of voluntary visits to the folks. And I'm not saying Rudy ratted anybody out, but Rudy could have said some things that basically could have bolstered, theoretically maybe, or I don't know, why he could have bolstered perhaps some idea that maybe Trump was responsible for inciting these folks. I don't know. We don't know what the other folks said. We don't know what the other people said. We don't know what the folks who were involved in the Proud Boys or whatever, what they said. We don't know what they said. We don't know anything about them. We don't know how that works. Don't know. We don't know what the conspiracies, what other charges are potential. We don't know. But the best news and the good news, and why you should take some form of happiness, is that people do not have that sense of get him, like he really did something wrong this time. It's just not there. It's not there. That's number one. Number two, I never thought for a moment, never, that when Trump is charged, that his popularity is going to go up. Not with the first one, even that crazy Bragg case that nobody can really understand. I never thought for a moment, I just never thought that. But that's changed. Because now this is the third indictment, and maybe Georgia. And you're feeling, tell me, don't you feel this? You're feeling a sense of, oh, come on. For the love of God, enough. Okay, we hate the guy. Not me, but they could say, all right, we hate him, but this is, you're not even getting good cases. We don't even understand what this is about. Why are you indicting him for this? This isn't what we wanted. And when Trump comes on and calls him deranged, you know what? He's starting to look deranged. He's looking crazy. Are you kidding me? And this is Trump's like this. What? What are you doing? Leave me alone. I just want to run my, no, what did I do now? I took papers? I did what? I paid off some Butana who did what? What? I wrote the wrong number. What are you talking about? I took papers. Those are my papers. What do you mean they're espionage? Wait a minute, what? And what I do here now? I did what? Yeah, I thought they screwed me. Yeah, I thought that, yes. I thought, wait, I can't say that? Trump says, I thought they stole the election. Yeah, I said that. I can say that. It's my opinion. Dear God. Now, friends, do you feel it changing? I ask you, do you feel it changing? If you feel it changing. Two things happen which are very interesting. Bobby Kennedy and Tucker Carlson. Things are changing incredibly right now. There's something that's just, it's just, there. How do we say this? People are so tired and there's no movement anymore. There's nothing to be excited about. Everything that Biden says, theoretically says, no one is excited about. Nobody says, yes, finally. People don't feel like anybody's looking out for them. Joe Rogan was talking to, and remember, he's still the most powerful broadcaster today, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He is the most important. Period. And he was talking to, what's that, Iglesias, or I don't know his name. And they were going through things like San Francisco and what's happening in Philadelphia and crime and this. I was like, what are you doing? And these last minute transgender stuff. We have had it with transgender. We've had it. They had Rachel Levine on talking about, it's like, Shut up with this transgender. You've said enough. It's time to move on. Nobody cares about transgender. What are you doing? Where's Booty Giggity Giggity? Where's he? Where's he been? Whatever happened with that expanse in Philly that collapsed? What is happening? Do you see what is happening involving the weather? What is going on here? Electric cars melting. Geoengineering is in the news. Who has been talking about that for the point of it? I mean, what is happening? And for the first time, this guy, Tucker Carlson, is the William F. Buckley of his time. He is the William F. Buckley. He is a statesman. He is able to codify a new vision, a new version of that which is of the right. And Bobby Kennedy is saying the same thing from the left. And where are they meeting in the middle? He's basically erasing the differences between them. Now, you're going to find something somewhere along the line. You may find something that Bobby Kennedy said about guns, or I don't know. Who cares? Suck it up. Because there's no other alternative. The left is going to completely destroy. They're going to repeal the Second Amendment. And as far as these jadrules on the right, I don't know what they're talking about. I have no. Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. What? Who is sick and tired? I'm sick and tired of Hunter Biden. I don't care anymore about Hunter Biden. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just refer him, whatever it is. Why didn't anybody find out where that BLM money went? Why didn't anybody find out who Antifa was? Why didn't anybody find out the organized crime, the domestic terrorism, the shock troops that destroyed and laid waste to my beloved republic after this George Floyd catastrophe? Whatever happened with that one? I don't care about Hunter. I got it with Hunter. I understand that. Enough. I think it's like some kind of a weird kind of a psychosexual fixation they got about this guy. What is happening to our country? Who is responsible? Look what happened in San Francisco. Look what happened to that. That was the most beautiful city. Everybody always talked about it. They loved San Francisco. What is happening to our... How is this... What's going on? These people... I don't get it. I don't get it. Tucker... Bobby Decay in D.C. Bobby Decay, that's the guy. It's a new world. It's a new world. Watch what happens. And they're winding up. They're getting desperate now, too. They're speeding things through real fast. And there are people right now, Russia, China, BRICS countries, Saudi Arabia, they're looking, it's like, can you believe this? Look at this. The other night, I was listening to, it's an audiobook, a wonderful, from The Generals, from Tom Ricks, about the greatest, one of my greatest Americans ever is George C. Marshall, Patton, Omar Bradley. I listened to these incredible stories. I listened to these testimonials from Medal of Honor recipients, battlefield, these incredibly brave men, women too, but let's face it, mostly combat. Medal of Honor recipients. And then I look over, and even though she's not really in the military, there's Rachel Levine, and people having drag queens at drag shows at military bases. And they want to have, remember that the military, the recruitment videos of trans two-spirit, whatever the hell it is. Then you got the Russian version of theirs. You got Chinese. I swear to God, I think I told you this. I saw a marching band of the Chinese. It was a marching band. These were nothing but, this was like the trombone section. He scared the hell out of me. This was the band. The precision. They looked at me like, and what do we have? I don't know, Rachel Levine. Nice woman, I guess. For the military? Patton? Blood and guts? Matthew Ridgway? Do you remember Matthew Ridgway? Remember what he had? He had a grenade and a first aid kit. They called him Old Iron Tits. Pardon my French. That was his name. One of the greats. Jimmy Doolittle? Hap Arnold? Dear God. We had some... even Westmoreland we thought was a wimp. Westmoreland was a killer. What is the matter? Look what happened to us. We're going to get it back. It's going to be through unconventional forces because we are going to... there are people like me who've been walking around here saying, is anybody listening to me? Bobby Kennedy listened to me. Tucker Carlson. They may not have known it, but they're it. They're put them together, and they're happy. We live in a country right now where the number one movie should be the number one movie, The Sound of Freedom, Sound of Freedom, and it's about human trafficking. And they said it was a right-wing conspiracy. If that doesn't tell you, you mean to tell me you're covering up for this? What proof do you need? These people are responsible for this. They're covering it up by laughing at you for talking about something that the UN recognizes, the DOJ recognizes. So my friends, you don't worry about Donald Trump right now. This is one of the... I don't know who his legal team is. I don't know who's going to be doing this for him. But he has... It's over. I want you to ask yourself this. Do you feel how today it was like, oh, come on. That was the feeling. That changes everything. That changes everything. You got that, dear friend? That changes everything. Cyndi Lauper said money changes everything. Well, that changes everything as well. That's simple, my friends. That's simple. Now, I want you to do me a favor, as usual. I told you Mrs. L has a wonderful and important and very critical YouTube channel that for some reason they don't like her to promote this. I don't know why, but they do. And we're going to beat that. We're going to say, excuse me, this is about children. I never thought I would have this much time, this much trouble getting people to support the protection of children. Nobody is talking about the weather, the weaponization of weather. How many times have we been talking about this? Dane Wigington had a great piece. I'm going to get him on again. He's a great friend of mine. About how fires in Canada have done more to add a layer, a blanket of particulate, kind of a coating for this dimming. It's there. I don't know what to tell you. Meanwhile, Greta Thunberg, that phony, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know who these people are. But it's changing. We're smarter. We're wiser. And the Democrats are scared right now. Scared because of Bobby Kennedy. They even are turning his brothers and sisters against him, his cousins and his family. Those rat bastards. I can't believe that. This is how demented. This is the enemy, his own family, the Kennedy family. Really? Well, you're not sticking together much. Well, I'm with you there, Bobby Decay. I'm with you. And Tucker Carlson, look, I know he's not running for office. I know he is a societal force because he is able to permeate and get ready. And listen, TC, they're going to come after you. Wait till that Ray Epps case comes. You know who's going to sell you out to? Fox News. And the people who have for the longest time been jealous of you. Because now for the first time, Gutbucket's doing, I'm the star. Hannity says, no, I'm the star. Well, look, you argue who's the star on your little network. That nobody cares about. I know more people that say, I don't watch that. Who cares? I don't need that. That's if you've been in a coma Or if you're a 5-year-old, or somebody who wakes up and they say, I wonder what Tommy Lahren thinks about this. Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead. Good. Sorry. We're adults. We don't sit at the kids' table anymore. You got that? Got that. Good. So President Trump, we are with you, my friend. We are with you. We are with you. And this man here, look at this. I still have my original one. This is part of the memorabilia. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. He's incredible. Did you have any Joe Biden memorabilia? No. Do you have any Joe? No. I would play it, but I don't want you to hear this. Just remember that. I saved all my stuff. I saved it. I saved all of it. If for nothing more than just because I was there at a period of history when I saw this guy come from nothing, not his money, but come out of the nowhere, win, and then everybody just turned on him, turned on me, turned on my wife, turned on us. We lost friends. It's okay. Still here. And that makes me even more. And I told you, I'm not a suck up for him. I think he's the most fascinating political person in my lifetime. He should be doing things differently. I've made that very clear. But this time, no. As of today, people are saying, all right, that's enough. So Jack Smith, I think you went a little too far, my friend. Please follow Mrs. L. Thank you so much. I mean that sincerely. Have a wonderful and a great day, my dear friends. Thank you for following us. Please like the video, like this. Subscribe to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And don't forget that our other friends at mypillow.com, Mike Lindell. This is the guy who decided, hey, I'm going to speak up. And they wanted to crush him. Why? Because of Trump. Why do you think they're going after Sound of Freedom? Because of Tim Ballard. Why? He was a Trump supporter. Come on. They don't forget these people. All right, dear friends. Have a great, and Mr. Fanculo, grazie mille. We'll see you tomorrow, my friends. Same bad time, same bad channel, 8 a.m. Until then, remember these words, this valedictory, this sayonara, this adios. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.